So you can only reach up to there. That's a sand tile for 5 evasion. Might as well have Natasha go there. Let's make use of that 30 resistance. Let's hope that's enough, actually. Because they still have a lot of attack power. I suppose Mia can go around here in case I need to finish any of them off. Oh, right, Natasha should also heal Loot when she gets the chance. Steel Axe, Steel Axe. Okay, I guess Erica could lure those Malduins, but I'll have to see about the other ones. 7 damage against someone with maxed possible resistance is still very, very impressive. But good thing Slayer helps us get through these. This is why having a bishop is pretty awesome. Even though it actually isn't as useful during the main story as I thought it was. I thought that Chapter 17 was a monster chapter as well. But for some reason I was wrong. I was thinking of the skirmish version of Chapter 17. I really did think that 17 was a monster chapter. But anyway, that's beside the point now. Still don't want to advance on the other side because I want to lure that Gorgon first. 9 damage on someone with cat resistance. So there is an important point about monster dark magic, but I'll be talking about that in the post-game when I do a glitch demonstration video. I'll need to research that glitch a bit as well, because I don't want to potentially screw up my save files. I know that doing it for certain characters can result in weird things. It's safe for magic users, but for everyone else, not really. Of course, it's a little hard for you guys to understand what I'm talking about if you don't know what it is yet, but if you do know what it is, you know what I'm referring to. This is going to be kind of an interesting thing to show off in the post-game and extras, but that'll be a little while yet. Okay, so this Malduin can go a bit further than... So this Malduin... Oh, you've got a short bow. Okay, that spot right there. That's where I want to put Erica. Funny thing about Siglinde is it actually weighs her down a little bit. At least it's nowhere near Eliwood weapons or... Eliwood levels of my legendary weapon completely sucks because it's ridiculously too heavy for me. Durandal was really, really bad in FE7. But, yeah. Actually, of all the ultimate weapons in FE7, really Armad's was the only good one, and that's only because Hector actually had the con necessary to use it. Soul Katai, I guess, looked cool, and I've had some success using Soul Katai on the FE7 final boss, but for the most part, I've mainly just ended up using... I mean, not even Armads most of the time, because, like I've said earlier, my Hectors tend to turn out mediocre in that game. Usually it's just Arthos who solos the final boss for me, or occasionally Canis. Do remember Lyn contributing at least once, though, thanks to one of my runs where Lyn became absurdly... Well, at first I thought RNG Bless, and then I realised I did use the Aphas drops on her in that playthrough, which is that game's equivalent of Metis' Tome. Speaking of Metis' Tome, I was hoping to make a Metis Sykes / another Metis from Persona joke when I picked that up, but I forgot at the time. There's another Mia crit. Even though Erica probably needed that kill more, but that's fine. We're almost there. Okay, 1 point of resistance is not bad either. So, yeah, as you can see, Mia's stats are getting pretty up there. Yeah, there are... Actually, there aren't places that I can lure you without you getting involved. And I don't like the idea of Natasha getting hit by a short bow, because their crit rate is actually pretty high. Although her luck is better than 17, so... to make sure that I'm out of range of them, though. let's just heal you for a little bit of HP just in case. I mean, I feel like Stone is probably not going to hit because of Weapon Triangle and also 92 hit rate though against my avoid of 57. So that's like in the 30s, and then with Weapon Triangle, it probably won't hit, but if it does, then she likely gets killed by the Malduin. But there is a way I can lure the Malduin first. Just need to stand somebody about there. Yes, Garrick will be my... Nope, don't do that! Will be my volunteer here. Because Stone can't actually reach from here. I am going to need to get rid of Rush, though, because a few enemies are going to be provoked by this. Well, just the longbow users, basically, but I hope that the one I want to be provoked is provoked by this. Or aggroed, I guess. I don't really find myself using that term all that much, because it seems to be mostly an MMORPG term, and I never really played those. But yes, the one that I hoped would be provoked was provoked. And another one too. Don't know if we've seen the Malduin bow animation before. Okay, let me check your ranges now. Okay, definitely not in range if Natasha goes here, that's good. Also, I'm now in range to Physics Staff the other side of the battlefield. Okay, you can't reach that there. But you're not doubling. Alright, what I need to do here is I actually need to have Garrick use the hand axe. Just to weaken you a little bit. Don't like this thing's crit rate, though. Even though it's only 3. Having an existence crit rate is automatically grounds for being worried in my book, because I have had 2% criticals, yes, happen to me before. Mostly in FE6, but still. Okay, that's one of them down. It's kind of a weird level up, but okay. Okay, you just have a longbow. No matter who you attack, it's probably gonna be fine. Yeah, the Gorgon can't even get to Garrick. You and you are fine, you're also fine. Wait a minute. Where can you attack? Okay, yeah, don't put teddies there. Okay, at least if she does get hit by this, there's nothing within the vicinity to capitalize on it. But it missed anyway. Stone does continue its animation if it does hits, but hopefully we never see that. You're on a mountain now, aren't you? That is just perfect. Speaking of just perfect, I need to get rid of that Gorgon now. Okay, thankfully if we attack it from below, we won't be able to get hit by anything. Yeah, the annoying thing about Stone is that for a status spell, it's capable of counter-attacking, which is something that you don't usually see. It really doesn't look like the boss is going to move, but if he does suddenly decide to move and attack me, that would be bad. It is actually pretty strange how Stone works. It's, I don't like wasting single India uses, but I want Erica to get experience. In that it's a status spell, but it works the same way as an attacking spell, in that it actually has an element and it can counter. Okay, with that out of the way, we can worry a lot less about various things. You still only have a... I mean, you may still only have a bow, but you also are currently on a mountain. Actually, I should probably use Ewan's turn to heal Garruk rather than actually attacking with him. We're almost done with this. Almost done. Don't like these hit rates, though. Especially when both of them hit, but neither of them gets a crit. Do you still have it? Yeah, you still have the javelin. Even though I'm pretty sure this is not going to hit. Doesn't look like it will. But I could still try. No, it didn't. It was worth a shot. So the gargoyles can reach down to there, but this thing can reach all the way up there. Crit 12, how much luck? 9. 28 attack, and you take nothing. Yes, this is where once Mia starts reaching pretty high levels, you don't really need to worry about her getting attacked by much things except for Sharp Claw Bales and Archers. Definitely Archers. So I think we should be able to clean up the rest. I was about to say Joshua hasn't had much luck in fighting spiders this chapter, but thankfully that one actually did miss, finally. A lot of HP, though. The Elder Bales are some of the more dangerous monsters because they combine huge HP with also huge damage. Mia counters Gwilgies pretty effectively now, though. And now even more so thanks to that +2 defense. And you're also doing nothing. Yeah, this is what I meant about Mia becoming pretty much indestructible later on. And she gets a free level for every enemy she slays. Mostly. One more 2 up on defense and she'll have capped it. Stop going on the mountains! Yeah, there's one more bale up there. But it's sort of stuck around those forests. 21 times 2 isn't enough. So if I do this, though... And that's good that missed, because I wouldn't have wanted to deal with Duessel getting poisoned here. Oh, Ewan could go on the mountain himself. Yeah, let's do that. Then we just clean up most of the rest of the enemies. I think I can lure the 2 gargoyles with Mia now that I think about it. Both Joshua and Garruk are starting to, like I said, get more over-leveled than under-leveled at this point. Heavy Spear and Short Spear. Yeah, neither of them do anything to her. Should be finished with this very soon. Just like this Death Goyle. Even if it's 51 HP, she still one-shots it. She's only level 13. And yep, there's defense capped. So she now has effectively 35 defense. The Dragonstone does not consume uses against ranged attacks, so that is a very good thing about it. Mia acts as a pretty good tank against ranged attackers, because it won't consume the uses of her Dragonstone attacking that way, and as you can see there's her cap defense. Now you... Oh yeah, Luda's finally doubling things at a time when I don't really want her to, because I kind of want Erica to get experience. Now, the Light Brand is doing a bit more thanks to hitting on resistance, but what weapons? Oh, you have a Killer Axe. I probably don't want Erica to be fighting that head-on, even though its hit rate is terrible. I'd kind of rather weaken you at range a little bit first. I suppose I can do this to conserve Mia's Dragonstone. Like I said, there is a way to repair it, but it's not really legitimate. I'm also not sure what happens if you glitch to obtain monster weapons and give them to Mia. I don't know if her animations screw up or not. I know that the dragon... I don't want to really spoil things, but the dragon sprite in FE7 does some very weird things if you put it on people it's not supposed to be on. Because the head is like... It's kind of weird, like the body is part of the background, technically, I think. It does some very weird things if you put it on people it shouldn't be on, basically, from a lot of silly hack videos I've seen. Will this be enough for Erica to... I think it will be. And Garrett becomes level 11 from that. And doesn't get a particularly good level up, but his HP is still getting pretty high. And yeah, let's just finish with this, just to get Erica a bit of experience. Then only one left. This took longer than I expected. I'm probably going to have to split this one into 2 parts. But I probably was going to do 2 parts of this anyway. Guess I'll be able to fit some of the support stuff into the next part, because there are a lot of supports that I still want to go for. Why aren't you even moving? I mean, I know that's smart, but still. That's a lot of damage, although thankfully I do have physics staff on hand in case it does hit. Yet another spider with a massive, massive amount of HP, though. I had a feeling that I'd be doing 20 times 2, and so... Oh, this means that Joshua's probably going to get the kill. Which I wanted Ewan to. Well, he's still leveled up. And that still put him at level 10, so... That's fine, but now he's slower than Loot. The tables have been turned. The tables have been well and truly turned. Just heal, I guess. Mia still has very, very, very little HP, but with how high her defense is, it really doesn't matter at this point. Except against, like I said, Worm Slayers and bows. Both of which are still a major threat, even to a max level Mia. Oh, that broke the killing edge, didn't it? Maybe Ewan is going to get the kill. Would have liked strength there, but extra luck means more evasion, I guess. And killing edges are easily buyable at this point, so I'm fine that I've lost one there. There we go, finally! And we get a guiding ring that we don't really... Well, I could use that for Rachel if I wanted to grind her to the post-game. So, yeah, that's that out of the way, but for the rest of this video, I'll probably be doing a little bit of bonus footage, basically just showing some extra supports that I want to get before the epilogue, so I'll see you back for those. Okay, just a quick cut before I start showing actual support conversations, but here's something that I found hilarious. So, I realized that apart from Ewan, I also hadn't supported Cormag with anyone yet, and then I checked his support list. every single person on this support list is someone that I plan on A-supporting with someone else, which means that I can't get Cormac to any A-supports at all, so I may as well not even bother. I just really don't like leaving support conversations at a B rank. So I'm sorry, Cormac, but you're kind of going to get the shaft in terms of supports here. So the moment I'm going to do some supports that I've grinded for, I'm not sure who to use my 2 slots that I have left on. I guess I can put Ephraim and Tana in. And I'm basically just going to retreat out of this one after I've got all the supports I want. So I suppose the first one, I guess Coleman Namie started the earliest, I should probably show that one first. So yeah, I did intend to get these all the way up to A. And yet more crying. As long as those are tears of happiness, then yeah, that'll be a good arrangement. So yeah, I do quite like that support. It's a pretty standard childhood friend romance, but it's still nice. So anyway, this one. Now, before I do this one, I have got them to a B. Yeah, I do have them to a B at the moment. Okay, before I do this one, I want to mention that I actually do ship Erica with Leon. That is my preferred Erica ship. The problem is that's impossible, so this is the second best option for me, I guess. Out of all the Erica ships that can actually happen, this one's probably my favorite, though I still do like Erica and Leon more. It's been all game and it's still not healed, and Seth is still this amazing? I'm pretty surprised. Some people would disagree with that. Some people would prefer to try and win without sacrifices. Oh, so the first chapter canonically took place at nighttime? That's kind of strange. Doesn't really look like it. I guess this does lend, I guess, a little bit of credence to Carlisle earlier, or I guess if Izmaya wasn't the queen anymore, there wouldn't be an issue with them getting together, but I still think what he did was stupid. And he's back. I guess it's a little awkward to be getting that right before we're going to be fighting Leon, but still. And now this one. As she does. Of course Lou would think that. Yes, yes, those adorable rotting zombies. And Lou is completely blind to sarcasm. So yeah, that's probably one of the more comedic romantic supports in this game, but it still gets pretty nice at the end. And now this one. Well, you were kind of the reason she wasn't in a better mood previously. And this is giving me flashbacks to a certain other Pegasus Knight / implied love interest of Main Lord. Yes, let's have a picnic in the middle of the battlefield. He kinda is. And now she's gonna go Sundere. Except stopping and shouting on the battlefield is how all supports work in this game, so that doesn't really make a lot of sense. So that one's, I guess, actually it is kind of awkward as far as A supports go. I do like the pairing. I'm not really sure I like that A support all that much, but I do like these two as a pairing. Just realized, I don't know what the age difference is supposed to be between them, though. That conversation does make that a little bit awkward. I always thought that would have been a bit similar, at least, because it seemed like Erica and Tana were kind of similar in age and they're twins. But anyway, let's not even think about that. Let's just retreat out of here, and I'll show the next batch of supports. Okay, I guess I should get the romantic ones out of the way first, so just so all the romantic ones are in a row. So this one next. The fact that if it hit you, you'd be dead 3 times over. His skills just get more and more ridiculous, don't they? Now I'm thinking about, like, there should be some kind of Echo-style skill that lets you shoot 3 enemies in a single attack. Probably would be fairly weak, though, to compensate. And asking the most direct question. So Innes forgets all of his competitions on birthdays, whereas Ephraim, the only thing he remembers are his competitions with Innes on other people's birthdays. She can't exactly be a great knight. He's being pretty direct in this one. And that's actually kind of a short A support as well. But it's still kind of nice. Okay, now this one. This is actually kind of weird that Tethys is standing right there because she's Garrick's other potential love interest. But anyway. Marissa is great. Yeah, even though she's not exactly the best stat-wise, I still like using her just because I really like her character a lot. Her dialogue is amazing. So that one leaves it on a kind of ambiguous note, but out of all of the A supports that I've done in this video so far, that one's probably my favourite, actually. I mean romantic A supports, because this A support, I really, really like this one, and it's another one of those that if you can't get it to A, you're really missing out. Because remember at the end of the B support, Duessel finally remembered something. Yes, don't keep us waiting either. So yeah, that's why I really, really wanted to show that support. It's definitely one of my favorites in this game for just how it reveals a pretty unexpected backstory detail about Amelia. It turns out that her mother is still alive. This isn't where that ends, though. We'll be seeing more of that in the epilogue, but I still like that. In fact, when I was playing Heroes, Amelia currently being the only Sacred Stones character that I managed to pull from that banner, despite throwing 120 orbs at it, but anyway, one of her voice clips, she talks about her mother in a really sad tone, and I'm just thinking to myself, this probably takes place pre-Duessel A support. Your mother's alive, I know that, but yeah, I really love that support. So yeah, I should probably get Duessel to a B with Ephraim, by the way, but I could do that in the creature campaign, I guess. Now, one final support that I want to do. I haven't supported Ewan with anyone, and I asked for input on who I should do it with. Now, from a purely gameplay standpoint, in terms of who I'm using, Ross would probably be the best option because of his fire affinity and the fact that he's another character that I'm using. However, a lot of you wanted to see what the siblings are like supporting each other. So I might just go ahead and do that, but this is going to take a little bit of grinding, so I'll be back here in a moment. Okay, so I've got the C support now. kind of interesting. But yeah, that is the C support. I just also want to point out, this is my first time seeing this support. I haven't supported these two before. So I'm going to have to retreat out of here now, because you can only get one support for a pair per map. So if I want them to get to a B, I have to go back in here. Okay, there we go. That only took, let me check, that only took 28. I find it usually takes about 30 turns to unlock a support in here. But anyway, B support time. What guy? Oh yeah, this brings this up. Ewan does love playing pranks on people. You find this out in some other conversations of his as well. This is part of why I wanted to make sure that I supported him with someone, because often there are aspects of characters that you don't get to find out unless you see supports. Even if it is kind of funny. When you end a sentence out of nowhere with, "I'm not jealous," you are. Okay, now time to go for the A support. Well, wait a minute, there are 2 entombed in this one? 2 entombed other than the boss. That's actually... I've never seen that happen before on the first floor of the tower. I guess that's kind of rare. Not that it's going to help here, because I'm not using this to grind anyone except feeding all the experience to Seth so that no one else gets any. Yeah, I just realized you're probably going to see a very, very large number of kills on Seth's epilogue entry. That's because whenever I grind for supports, that actually hit pretty hard. Whenever I grind for supports, I basically have Seth absorb all of the kills here, just so that nobody else gets any experience, and I'm not too over-leveled for the main story chapters. Okay, there we go. That would be the A support. So, let's do this. Yeah, that makes perfect sense. Set against certain magic users. Yeah, you're definitely not supposed to get all 3 of these supports in a row. There's supposed to be kind of a progress with you, and the first support's supposed to occur when he's still a trainee, I guess. You know, that actually made me kind of emotional, considering that I have a younger sister who moved away from home recently and started her own life, so... Yeah, that actually hit kind of close to home for me. I've never seen that support before, but yeah, I'm actually pretty emotional over that now. But yeah, so I'm glad I did those supports, and with that, that's going to be the support grinding over. Now it's time to get out of here, and I might as well stick preparations for the final chapter in this part, just so that it doesn't take up time, because... oh boy, Chapter 20 is going to be a long one. Chapter 20 is probably going to be very long, just saying that. It's another one of those late-game chapters where they just love to spam reinforcements. Good news is we have a quick shortcut over to Ralston from the world map, but that's not where I want to be right now. I want somewhere that sells javelins, because of all the things for Ralston Court to not sell, it's actually javelins, or at least decent range weapons. So, who has the silver card and the member card? I think I may have put those away. Okay, you have exactly 2 free spots in your inventory, so this is what I like, so I can give both of them to someone and have them put a bunch of items in the convoy. Okay, yeah, there is the javelin right there, so gonna go ahead and buy just a few more javelins. And now we can do what Erica was supposed to do back in her story, and cross the sea and go all the way to Ralston. Because at Ralston Court, which I'll just show here, this is pretty much your one-stop shop for in-game preparations. They sell silver weapons, killer weapons, reaver weapons, pretty much everything you could want. Even longbows. So, this is, like I said, where you want to do most of your in-game shopping. However... oh, I want to check out what their shop sells too. Not exactly the best selection, but restore staves are nice. Elixirs are pretty good too. Anyway though, I'm first going to distribute items that are already in my convoy because that's getting pretty packed. So, I guess if Ewan's first, let's see. Wait, 10, that's above his con, isn't it? Somebody told me that you can actually find body rings in the Melkaean coast. So you could theoretically max out someone's con. Yeah, I need to buy more Thunder Tomes. Okay, Amelia. It's again another one-use weapon that I really want to get rid of. Okay, you know, how about I get rid of a lot of these one-use weapons first? Alright, there is a sell option that you can use directly from the inventory. I knew there was one. For some reason, I was just forgetting that it existed. I have an unsold red gem in here. Might as well get rid of that. There's no point in that taking up inventory space. I like to keep at least one antitoxin in case I need any. But yeah, still got a lot of stat boosters here. And yeah, I'm a complete derp and haven't used my Swift Souls yet. Also, look at all those Knight's Crests. I still don't really know who I'm going to give them to, though. It's like, yeah, I don't really know who needs the movement boost exactly. I mean, I could give it to Loot, but then again, she already got the body ring. Sometimes I like giving it to my main lord so they can get to Seeds points faster. It's a little late for that, I guess, but this chapter is Seas, or I could give it to a flyer for massive overkill. It actually wouldn't be that bad on Mir either. Still have 37 uses. There is a semi-reliable way to get more Swift Souls in the post-game. This is kind of overkill, but he does have one less movement than a normal mounted character, so I'm gonna go ahead and use them on Ephraim. Okay, so now, like I said, distributing things that are already in the... should probably put that away. Already in the convoy, let's see. Guess I can sell that. Don't need the hammer anymore. Yeah, see, Garrick having a C in axes is pretty awesome because now I can actually use killer axes. I'm gonna go ahead and take that. Dragon Axe might not be a bad idea in this chapter. Yeah, I guess he could probably use the Brave Sword more. Might as well take that rune sword. And I'll use his last slot on a... I guess I'll buy a silver sword for that last slot. I kind of need to keep your inventory as is for the moment. So I... Actually, let's go ahead and just buy stuff now. Gonna want a few silver swords. Silver blades are not that great, considering that... I mean, Garrick doesn't get weighed down by them, but Garrick's really the only person who can use these. I'm gonna take one just for the Cyclopses in Chapter 20, which are insanely durable. Might as well get a couple of killing edges. And how full is my storage now? Yeah, I've still got space, so I'll take the silver blade on you. B, yeah, because silver weapons are A ranked in this game. Brave weapons are only B in this one. Alright, there's Joshua. Now let's go for some silver lances. We're gonna need a few of these. Maybe an extra killer lance or so. Don't really need much in the way of new axes. All I think I really need is, I guess, one more killer axe for Ross, because I've got one on Garrett currently, and maybe a silver axe. And that should be everything I need from that. Okay, everyone's order is kind of messed up thanks to all the support grinding, but you're fine. Guess Erica can take one of the silver swords. Ephraim is going to go ahead and maybe exchange that javelin for a fresh one, and also take another silver lance. Might as well keep that on him for the time being. Tana, oh yeah, she has that spear. Don't need the heavy spear anymore at all, because there are no more armored enemies ever. I guess I'll take a silver one for her. And Cormag, he already has... He's kind of overkill on this, but I should go ahead and give him the Brave Lance, because his speed is, I guess, a little bit lower. And Ross already had a silver axe, but put that away. Do I still have the Tomahawk? Yeah, let's take that, and then let's... don't need the Sword Slayer anymore. The Sword Reaver is at least kind of useful for him, but I want that other Killer Axe, thanks to his Berserker crit bonus. And that bolting, I'm obviously going to go ahead and give that to Mia. Fortify, I will save for the final chapter. Though those extra physics staves should probably be distributed to other people who need them. Already got one. Okay, I probably need some more men staves. Again, this thing I will save for the final chapter. Rescue could probably come in handy as well. So now I need a few more tomes. Mainly just more thunder. And some men staves. That should be pretty much everything. So, you can go ahead and... Don't know about the restore staff. I wish you could use Fortify. Maybe if I spam Mend a little bit more, you could. Just take another Thunder. That is going to weigh you down enormously, and for only 3 more attack power than Hellfire. Might as well have you take Excalibur now. Ephraim is fine. You can probably exchange your heal for Mend. And Mir, I think I'm actually pretty much set at this point. I think that's everything that I wanted to do. Oh, apart from, yeah, you need to take another Thunder Tome, and you also need to exchange... Oh, you can't even use Mend yet, so that doesn't matter. And you might as well swap that Vulnerary for an Elixir, because I have a spare Elixir in here. And with that should be all the preparations that we need to do. So next time we'll be heading out to the Black Temple for our final confrontation with the Demon King. So see you then.